Hi. You just talked about it again. The people are the worst critic of themselves. And in the first session, first morning, you talked with Jacques that sometimes people are afraid of food. And somehow this just now melted together. So what I'm aiming for is, how can I really appreciate what I eat before I eat it, while I eat it, and after I ate it?
Well, we've been saying to our friends for quite a while that in your stepping into this notion of deliberate creation, deliberate vibration, deliberate gridding, deliberate accomplishing of my point of attraction, deliberate synthesizing of my vibration, deliberate focusing, deliberate state of being, deliberate accomplishing a point of attraction that feels good while I'm doing it and attracts outcomes that I want. We're saying lots of different words, all meaning the same thing. This deliberate accomplishment of my state of being, to which everything in the universe is responding to. To start with something easy. And that isn't it. To start with something easy. Now, just hear us out, because certainly we know you've been at it a long time, and you're not just starting. You've been finding your way on a lot of things. But still, we want to say, as if all of us just started new a day or two ago together, let's start with the easiest of things. And the easiest of things is whatever subject it takes to put you easily in a good feeling place, so that you're practicing that chronic vibration of feeling good until you're pretty good at being there on that high-flying good feeling grid disc more of the time. And then once you've been spinning there because you're in love with the ocean, and you're in love with nature, and you're in love with that person, and you're in love with this granddaughter, and you're in love with this, 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 then once you have stabilized, is the best word we can use, once you have found stability in that vibration, you don't even have to address the subject that has been a former bugaboo. Your chronic vibration will just begin to evoke impulses from you that will allow the response from the universe and the response from your body, the response from anything and everything that you are looking for. Again, this falls in the category of, you've got 10 subjects, 9 of them are out of whack, 1 of them is going really well. Focus on the 1 and the other 9 will come into alignment. You seem to not believe that. You seem to want to take the thing that isn't working and figure it out. Mm-hmm. And that's not the way. That's not how you get out ahead of things vibrationally. The way you get out ahead of things that aren't working vibrationally and improve them is by focusing upon the things that are already working until you own the vibration of that so substantially that then everything else falls into alignment.
I was on the sky deck, and there are these 2 hot pools, and I lay in one of these hot pools, and with my ears underwater, just laying flat on the ground, I only heard the bubble, and I saw the albatrosses above me, and I was just like floating in heaven. And that's when the idea came to me: wouldn't it be nice to feel like this about food? Every time.
So wouldn't it be nice to feel like this about food? Wouldn't it be nice to feel like this about food? Isn't it nice to feel like this? 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 What makes you have to make everything a teaching moment? What makes you have to make work out of something that a minute ago wasn't? Is that making sense to you? You've been working way too hard at all of this because you've been taught that there's no gain without pain and that you really have to pay a price in order to get something. And you also have believed that your action was what it was about. You haven't been owning the understanding that you are a creator of a vibration which allows. You are the creator of a vibration which attracts. You are the creator of a vibration which lets in, which actualizes. And so your only work is just to create the nucleus to allow it. But it is a little more complicated than that in the sense that you sift and sort and you ask, you do. You just don't do it all at once. So would you call that floating up there, feeling so good, watching, Kate calls them mustache birds. Isn't it nice to be there? Is that a step 1 moment, a step 2 moment, or a step 3 moment?
Step 3.
It's a step 3 moment. It's a step 3 moment. So what's the inclination to turn a step 3 moment into a step 1 moment? Now there's a step 1 moments come naturally. So here's the real question that this gathering has really promoted, perpetuated, and made it distinct enough that we think it is yours forevermore. When you're in the middle of a step 3 moment, don't you want to keep that momentum going longer?
Yes.
Why would you want to kill the momentum of that with a problem you're trying to solve? You see what we're getting at? That's really good, isn't it? Maybe it's because your children did that to you. They waited till you were really in a good mood before they hit you, with what they really wanted. And so you came from your great mood right down to, maybe that's where it started. Or maybe it's when you were children and the more carefree you felt, the more your parents thought they needed to control you, because after all, you have to be molded into substantial citizens who will carry your own weight. But we promise you, all of that tutoring was from people who were here on their grid. They were not flying high. And we just want you to know, only good can come from you the more you fly high. Only good can come from you. And we think those magnificent birds are just visual demonstrators of that. Watch them. Do you see them struggling?
No.
Do you see them fighting with each other?
No. I just... Yeah, sitting on the wind. I love the way they just stand in the wind.
Yeah.
It's just
completely supported.
It?
Placing themselves perfectly.
Yes.
That's what you're doing. You're placing yourselves perfectly. Really
yes,
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.